murderous and dangerous day along J Street in Brooklyn as an employee of a college apparently went berserk and shot at anyone who stepped into his way. 29-year-old Van Hall has now been arrested and accused of killing one man and wounding 7 people in his late afternoon shooting spree. Channel 2 News has had several correspondents on the scene all afternoon. Our coverage begins outside the school buildings where all of this took place. Richard Brown is there with the latest. Richard.
Jim, as you say, Van Hall has been identified by police. He is now in custody. The shooting spree lasted more than an hour, beginning about 2:15. A lone gunman brandishing a 9mm automatic, and he had a .38 in his other hand, according to police. He killed 1 man, injured 5 more, another man hurt in the melee, and then he shot it out with police. Chris Borgen begins the coverage.
It was just after 2 p.m. when the gunman walked into the Allied Health Building on the New York Technical College campus here in Brooklyn. In retracing his steps, police say he went to the 3rd-floor laboratory where he shot the lab technician through the head, killing him on the spot. Police say he then went down the stairs across the courtyard to the NAM Hall at 300 J Street, where he went directly to the college financial aid office on the 2nd floor. There, police say, he shot 3 staff members, including the head financial aide. Even as the teachers and students dashed for safety, the gunman, they said, then calmly walked down the stairs, ran across the street to J Street and the college auditorium,
where he shot a female security guard in the head and a male security guard in the hand. Responding police officers confronted the suspect in the hallway on the 1st floor of 285 J Street. He fired several shots at the officers. They returned shots at him, and after a brief discussion, he pushed out his 2 guns and surrendered.
The suspect's identity was withheld pending verification. The police said he was a teacher-student aide at the college and reportedly had had problems with the faculty in the past.
It wouldn't take too much to tick him off, because I'm saying he's like that. He's very temperamental, you know.
Does he do drugs? Is there anything like
I don't know if he does drugs. I think he had a problem before he even came to the school.
After his surrender, heavily armed police combed through the 3 buildings of the campus, room by room, floor by floor, making sure that there were no accomplices. Moments ago, the search was ended. The gunman apparently had acted alone. In Brooklyn, I'm Chris Borgen, Channel 2 News.
The barricades went down just a little over an hour ago, but Neil Rosenau, our colleague, was on the scene when it began. You were one of the first camera crews here. What was happening?
Richard, it's one of those events that you always live for as a reporter because you want to be the eyes of the public, and we were one of the first ones there. The police had not even managed to put up the barricades yet. And if you look at some of the tape that we shot when we first arrived there, you can see how the police were in their flak jackets. They were obviously very tense. They were looking in at what had been a shootout with this guy, and they brought him out shortly afterwards. During the evacuation, as things went along, we tried to piece the story together, but those first few moments when we were able to shoot, even before they pushed us back out of harm's way, were obviously very exciting.
You're actually there you're learning the same time the police are learning. I mean, it's one of those situations you get into, you know more than they do.
Absolutely not. And you don't know, in fact, they were talking about 3 buildings over here. We didn't know which of those buildings they were working in. It turns out they were working in all 3. Of course, they pulled the guy out of one.
Yeah. You spoke to one man who said he knew the perpetrator in this case. What kind of a guy did he say he was?
This student said, I didn't have many dealings with him. I really wasn't sure. He was a very unstable sort of fellow. Now, obviously, if we're talking about the same person, and I didn't want to talk to him any more than I had to.
Yeah. Okay, thanks very much. Neil Rosenau, our colleague, was on the scene when it began about 2:15.